Good afternoon. We will close now the 14th International Forum on HCH and Pesticides, organized, as you well know, from the General Direction of Climate Change of the Government of Aragon, together with the International Association of HCH and Pesticides and EMGRISA. This conference united experts from all over the world on lindane and other waste, and allowed us to deepen on how the European Union is working on this and what is the future path. In order to review the technical conclusions, we will give the floor to Mrs. Elena Cano Lázaro, head of the Contaminated Soil Service of the Government of Aragon. This service develops inside the General Directorate all the tasks of lindane waste management. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you for your attending the conference. I hope you enjoyed the forum. I hope you found it interesting and that we all got more enriched after hearing all this information on obsolete pesticides and COCs and POPs. For us in Aragon, it was a pleasure to organize the conference, and it was also an opportunity for us to let know all the activities that we are carrying out in the sites. As you have seen, Aragon is seriously involved and engaged and committed in finding technical solutions to end contamination in sites by lindane waste. We believe that collaboration among European regions is key to unite efforts and to create synergies to develop strategies and knowing better pollution and techniques to implement to remove this contaminant. With LindaNet project, we were leaders in the creation of the first European region network committed to finding solutions to this issue. This collaboration must go on. It should not finish with the LindaNet project. It should keep existing because the exchange of experiences in order to find shared strategies is crucial to attract the attention of the European authorities on the importance, on the severity of HCH contamination. Therefore, Aragon is committed to keep supporting this cooperation among regions. We count with the support of many regions present here, such as Galicia, the Basque Country, Saxon-Anhalt, online, Silesia in Poland. We will keep on collaborating and we will keep on moving forward. Additionally, I would like to thank all the team at the Contaminated Soil Service, particularly the section of lindane, Jorge Net, Jesus Fernandez, Sonia Velilla, all the team in SARGA, both in the treatment plant, laboratory, the staff in the technical office and European project, all the staff of hydrogeological monitoring and all the collaborators, which are a few, a lot, and the staff working on management of waste. It is a pleasure to work with such a great team. First of all, because they are excellent professionals, experts, and also because of their commitment with responsibility, with engagement, and thank you to their human category or level. You really carry out a task that is really, really hard, but you make it easy and very motivating. Thank you so much. I would also like to thank Alicia Sanchez from the team in Alicia Government for organizing this forum together with all the team in SARGA. Of course. Thank you to the effort of Catherine and John Vijgen. We've been working very closely. Thank you, you both. And thank you to the sponsors that helped or made this a reality. Also, this forum was possible thanks to all the chair people of the different panels, of all the experts. You shared your knowledge on the different along the different sessions, and you created a great interest in the public, in the audience, and also a great demand for videos and recordings. Because of course we cannot be everywhere. So thank you to all the experts and panelists. And thank you to the audience for your active participation. It has not been one session where there was not a debate, and you all contributed added value to the forum. And to end, thank you, John Vijgen and Bram Borst, Alisa, because without you, this forum and all the previous ones would never have happened. Without you, simply put, you are an example of commitment, of fight, of cooperation, and you are a reference for so many of us. So thank you wholeheartedly for your effort along these years. Thank you, Elena. And now we're going to listen to Maria Victoria Esteruelas. She is the Aragonese Society of Agri-Environment Management, SARGA, a manager, and she received the diploma or the title of a sustainable event from the European Union. I think that when you say things so clearly, Elena, very little there is left to add. I would just like to reinforce our acknowledgement. Thank you for the certificate that we will be receiving. I am receiving it. I am receiving it on behalf of all my team. And of course, thank you to Caja Rural, who also contributed and collaborated for this certificate to be a reality. Thank you so much.
I take advantage to congratulate the whole SARGA team from Control Union Certifications for their good work, the compliance with the sustainable indicators with a very good mark. And I would like to also mention the sustainability team in Caja Rural Aragon, because it hasn't been easy to implement sustainability measures in this historical building. I hope that sustainability stops being news, because it's incorporated to our daily work and our daily life. Thank you. Thank you, Vicente. Thank you, Maria Victoria. Now we will hear John Vijgen, who is the director of the International HCH and Pesticides Association, who is going to make a conclusion of the main findings during the forum.
Let me just first actually follow up what Elena says. Thank you for everybody here. In any way, sponsor, participant, organization, the fantastic people, the soul they have here to move on, like Aragon. I want to thank everybody as IHPA and the way everybody is working here, and I hope there is a great, great future for you. That's why I don't have much to say, but I gave you that's probably not normal for me, but anyway. So I just want to show you these pictures again. And that is what I talked in the beginning. We talk about the Lindane legacy, and we talk about the obsolete pesticide. That was our two lines in the highway. And if you take then the next one. No? Hello? Hello? Where are you? Ah, this is where we're standing now, eh? We are standing now here with the Lindane legacy. We have the status of the cooperation, On contaminated site, you see here the regions. You have also seen them talking and explaining what they've been doing. We had on Lindane the HCH in EU project, a great, great project. We have made a whole inventory of Europe. We're still waiting that the countries give some answers and do their homework. That's also something for the resolution. So here we see also that we, next to the inventory, oh, I'm too bad, that we actually also make action plans. 6 regions have action plan clear, ready to go, and move forward. But they must come and follow up, and that is what we have to fight for. The other side, the obsolete pesticides, you've seen that we had this fantastic report we made on the strategy for, hallelujah, sorry, I'm talking away, of the Central Asian, the ECA region, the strategy how to move on, where we explained if you invest in the cleanup of these old pesticides, that you do that 5 to 10 years, and then you are ready, you have the equipment and the infrastructure standing to tackle the new hazardous waste issues in these countries, and that's millions of tons. Now, of course, our question was also, what are we going to do with the region? Now, anything more? Hello? Hallelujah. Is the battery empty? Yeah, we got it. So, in principle, we have said, what's the way forward? Get an organization, get a network going, which are moving the regions forward. And that's, of course, we like to hear what the regions have to say and what is coming out of this resolution. And the same way is for these pesticides. Also there, the players are the World Bank, there are players are the GEF, and also the UN agencies, but we have to do more than just incidental projects in 3 countries in Central Asia, wait 10 years and do the next one. There must be a long-term structural fund or a mechanism which keep the countries going, that they can also get rid of it and get to work on the future. I leave that to you, and I think this is now what I leave behind, and that's probably we're going to discuss that issue after the disclosure. Thank you very much. That's all from me.
Thank you, John. Now we give the floor to Bram de Borst, who is the president of the IHPA and Pesticides Association.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to spend a few words on this also for our foundation, the IHPA, a very remarkable moment. As John announced in the opening session, it's not the last things that we are doing today, because there is still something to be done, a book to be published. John and Katja will be busy with that in the coming months. But nevertheless, it's now the closure session that we are here together, and I want to spend a few words on our foundation and especially also address some words to John. Our foundation, it's a mini thing. It's not a big foundation. It is not about money. It's about a few people connected to each other who are committed to work for the objective of the foundation, and it has to do with the future generations. John has shown in his one of his last slides also the small people, the small guys from Central Asia on this picture, and that's why we have done this in the past 30 years. And that's also something to hand over. No, it's not something to hand over, because it's not about the target, it's also about the community that we are together. It's not it's the small entity IHPA, but much more important is the community of people, you and us together, who are searching for what we can do to improve the situation, the legacy we are confronted with. Legacy There's a huge amount of money, but it's not about money, it's also about the guts to solve this problem and to be persistent in achieving the results for the next generations and also for the present generation. John, 14 forums. And it starts a month before the forum, the late night calls or the long phone calls. And we are working together, John and I, since 1986. So we know each other very well. And we also developed friendship, and I appreciate very much. But it's so unique that the way you are doing this, and I think most of you have the experience that, yeah, most of these conferences started when John came in. And it's really, I want to thank you for your personal commitment, for all the work you have done, and also for the way in which you do it, that you really show your commitment, but that you are also interfering with people to make them move. And yeah, you are gifted to do that, but you are using that as well. And it's also very nice that during this conference, your own next generation is present and is contributing. They haven't made yet the promise to continue your work. It's also not what I want to ask them, because we have to search for other ways to continue the contribution of IHPA, but it's also nice to see that not only Neil, your wife, but also your children are here and are really committed also to contribute. So I want to thank you.
Thank you. And last but not least, Mr. Carlos Gamarra, Managing Director of Climate Change and Environmental Education of the Government of Aragon, for the closing words. Then all the coordinators and experts and authorities will meet to collect and compile all the technical conclusions to be part of the resolution of the forum that will be published in the book, including all the articles of the presentations. Now I give the floor to Mr. Carlos Gamarra. Hello, all of you. After listening to the precedent experts, I would just add a small short speech for the closure. First of all, I hope that every one of you were comfortable, were at ease in Zaragoza, and that you felt not alone, but very well accompanied. I think this was a forum with a high level, with very interesting presentations, with participation, intense participation and active participation, with scientists and experts from 45 countries. And I hope these were really fruitful meeting from the professional point of view. You know, we are working within the Live Surfing project. And this forum, the protagonism this time was the management of decontamination of HCH, the residue, the contaminant residue resulting from the production of lindane. In Live Surfing project, we have learned of satisfactory recovery results in the Vijgen landfill. Even though the presentations have reached their end and we are concluding this international forum tomorrow, most of us here, of the attendees, will visit the facilities that the government of Aragon keep in action and work in those sites affected by SCH contamination in Sabiñánigo, together with the equipment and the laboratories in Sabiñánigo. So I hope this visit will also be very fruitful. I would like to sincerely acknowledge all the effort, not just during the past 3 days, but over the recent days by the International Association, IHPA, and the Contaminated Soils Service, with which I have the pleasure to work. And in this case, to see the marvelous, the fantastic action in the General Directorate of Climate Change. And I would also like to thank the team that has been engaged in the preparation of this Congress in SARGA. I would also like to thank particularly Elena Cano, the head of the Contaminated Soil Service, also all the collaborators and sponsors of this Congress for their so important role, and also Bram the Borst for his presence and engagement over the past years, and very especially John Vijgen. John, we met quite recently, but every time I always feel your energy, I can feel your excitement, and I want to give you a heartfelt applause and thank you for your support and your insistence. And I want to acknowledge your efforts. And just to conclude very briefly, because these speeches should never be too long, I would just like to point to some of the conclusions. That Aragon is deeply committed to finding technical solutions to end with the contamination of lindane contaminated sites. That collaboration among regions is crucial, and that lindane must not be the end point. And for that, Aragon is committed to coordinating what we hope would be a future collaboration among the affected countries. I would just like to highlight what I consider is a key conclusion, that the goal on which all of us must agree regarding contamination with lindane and other pesticides is the cleansing up of environment, so that we put an end to this legacy when thinking of the future generations. And we need to think of a line of funding from the European authorities. Without that, we would be slower, less agile, and I think this conclusion is key. Thank you all for your assistance and your attendance and your attention. And we will be seeing you tomorrow too. Thank you.